Good morning, beautiful people of the world. Good morning, beautiful people. It is Thursday. It is Throwback Thursday. Are we throwing it back today? We're throwing it back today. I'm going to put some pictures over on my post so you guys can see some throwback pictures of me. I do it every Thursday. At least I try to do it every Thursday. I wish you all could post pictures of you there too, but it's not like Facebook. Facebook have a section where you can upload. I'll be glad when YouTube get that. But anywho, good morning. Good morning. Bareface again. Yes, child. Trying to get out of here to get a parking space. Anyway, it's 53 degrees on a Thursday morning and no rain. Yesterday it rained all day long. All day. Heavy rain. And I was out there driving in it. And somebody drove my van, my work van, that night. I guess they came in at night. And did not replenish the battery on the van. So these are electric vans. I'm glad when they cut that down. They look like a person standing there every time I come out. But they did not replenish the battery in my van. Not only did they not plug it back up, because it's like a phone. Just like you charge your phone or your iPad or your Apple Watch or your Android, so forth and so forth. Do they have Android watches? Anyway, if they do, let me know. I'm not an Android person. I'm an Apple person. iPhone. But the car works just like a phone. You have to plug it up. And then there's a little charging box. And you have to press that. And then you have to tap it with a tapper. I don't know why. And then it'll charge. Well, they didn't charge it back up. So I didn't have much battery in it to go do what I needed to do. And then the MFers left their tamales, hot tamales, or their tamales, you know, the homemade tamales, the corn husk. They left that in the van, left their garbage. I can't stand a nasty MFer. I can't, y'all. I cannot. I can't stand it. Left that shit in there. So I not only did I didn't have no charge on the van. The van was nasty, so I had to clean the van up and clean the van out before I could really drive the van. I was fit to be tied. I was pissed. Then I was out here in all this rain. It was raining. So I had to go to find a charging station, you know, because you can go all over the city and I had to go find another charging station. So, girl, I called my foreman. I said, hey, where's the, I said, do 103rd have a charging station for the vans, for these kind of vans, these whatever trucks? He said, yeah, you go over there. Okay, so I go over there, but I don't have the key tapper. So I met this deputy commissioner. I don't know what deputy, what he the commissioner for. He was fine. I didn't know he was fine until he turned around. I was like, oh, how you doing? So he was my type too. Then I looked on his jacket and it said deputy commissioner. I said, okay, stop smiling, stop cheesing so hard. I said, you the deputy commissioner? He said, yeah, I am. He said, what's your name? He told my name. And I'll never get nobody my real name. He said, CC. Everybody call me CC. Everybody in this that work at this company around in every department know me as that. It's only one CC. And so he said what his name was. But I could tell he was married. He just had married vibes all around him. You know, you pick up on the energy, right? It's like he married. I ain't see his hand because his hand was in his pocket, but I just got married. I'm married vibes. And I've been married for 30 years vibes. He was 2 seasons of a man. He had to be probably in his early 60s. He looked good. He was good looking. beard all trimmed up, you know, like how I like them all, you know. Let me stop. I seriously thought about it. I thought about him later. Anyway, maybe I need to go back over there today. And he just happened to be standing in the garage when I walked in, because I'm familiar with that because they're part of us too. Water, streets and sand, transportation. It's a whole bunch of departments over there. So anyway, he said, go down here and go through these double doors and go up in there. And I said, okay. He said, and you should be able to find somebody to give you the thing that you need. I said, okay. He was standing there talking to another guy that I had seen before. And, you know, I was just friendly. I would introduce myself because I needed that. I needed to charge. So the other man, who wasn't so cute, but I know him too. He's like, hey. I was like, hey, what you doing? Blah, 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 blah. He hugged me. He said, what you over here? Because I used to work over there for Streets and Sand. I said, no. I said, I'm over here because I'm driving my van. And the people didn't plug it up the night before. And I said, I don't have enough juice to make it back. And I said, I got to go all the way back to 24. And he said, oh, okay. And it was raining. He said, well, come on. He said, I got the tapper. He said, come on. He said, I'll drive you over there to the fuel at the station. Because I had already pulled up and I already plugged it in. It was puddles. When I tell y'all puddles, baby, my fat ass can't swim. But baby, I was so glad that I had changed into my rain boots. Because let me tell you, if I had not had on those rain boots and just them work boots, my feet would have been soaked. My pants and stuff was already soaked. I can't find my rain gear. I can't find it. But anyway, he was like, yeah, come on. He was like, he's like, come on, I'll drive you over there. So he drives me over there. He looks down at my feet. He said, you got on rain boots? I said, yeah. He said, oh, okay. He said, this water, he said, it's flooded over here. The whole parking lot was flooded. Yesterday was a mess. Now I missed my sister and my niece, and my mama said it was hailing over here on the south side. But I was on my way to work. We didn't get no hail this way over west. I was like, ugh. I was like, you got to be kidding me. People take so long to get over. Well, he drove me up there. I charged it, and it was taking. I said, I ain't got no hour, 2 hours. I ain't even taking lunch. Okay, you playing around. I ain't got time for you. Yeah, now you mad. You had ample opportunity to get your ass over here. Get in front. I got to go. I can't be playing. I ain't even have a lunch. I got time to beat this down. So I was like, I was like, nope. I'm like, I was like, I need to let it. So I let it charge enough that I had enough battery to get back to work. But my coworker had made. Now you got all these lanes over here, but you want to ride my ass. Okay, I got something for you, bro. So I'm gonna drive slow now, make you real mad. Fuck with me. He got all these lanes. Anyway, so my coworker had made this chicken cacciatore. It was good. And he said, I already ate. And he said, this is what I cooked last night. And the only problem I had, it was very, very good. He said, I said, what is this grease? He said, I made it with olive oil. It was a little bit too much olive oil for me, but it was good. Me and my coworker, she and I shared it. And it was good. The chicken was real tender. He put these red red roasted peppers in there. He seasoned them up. It was really good. It had spinach in it. It was good. It was real good. So I ate that for lunch, and then for dinner I ate, my mom made macaroni and cheese, string beans, and chicken in the air fryer. And I ate that, and that was good. And I must say to you all, my clothes are feeling a little looser because I've been eating these salads. Kind of fell off a little bit this week, but it's been, salads have been good. So I fell off a little bit. I can't get out of my mind about this $2,000 for this gas bill. I know I'm skipping all around. I gotta call them today. I tried to contact the people that helped me, and they said that the residential, the ERP program is closed. So I don't have a number to directly call them, but I am gonna ask for People's Gas to investigate it, because if I owe that much from the previous address, it's just something ain't right. Something just ain't right. It just ain't right. I'm gonna tell them, I said, I need a printout. I need a printout of my bill going all the way back from that address. I need a printout. I'm not giving them no money till they do an investigation and give me a printout of my bill. They don't have to run something to me. They don't have to fax. They don't have to email it to me. You email it to me or send it to me, because it just ain't, something ain't right. And I feel that in my spirit. I'm just not gonna pay y'all. I'm just not gonna pay that just because y'all said that that's what it is. Because y'all could be, they could be wrong. But it just ain't right. Anyway, let me not focus on that. So I told you all that, well, first of all, let me back up. Good morning to you all. I hope you all had a great day on yesterday. Hope your day was good and you were safe and you had a great and amazing day yesterday. And I hope you all have a great and amazing day today. So I told you all yesterday when I ended the video that I wanted to talk to you all about etiquette and what is the proper etiquette for what the hell is going on right here? Thank you. What is the proper etiquette for forgiving when a person's loved one has passed. Now, if you are African American, and maybe not just in Africa, not just in black culture, this may happen in white culture and every other culture as well. But I know that for a black culture, we always take up a collection for that person who has either passed, and we give it to the family, or if it's the person, or we give it to that person if it's like if somebody's mom, father, sister, brother, child, God forbid, we take up the collection for them and we give it to that person of the deceased, right? So I told you all that my friend recently passed on my mom's birthday. I had two friends pass on the same day that I had knew all for a long, well, I didn't know him as long as I had knew the girl, but I had worked with him for the last 7 years in this department. He and I were really good friends, very close. He died on the 21st. He had a massive stroke. So he recently, as of 2 years, he's probably been married 2 years now, maybe longer. He got married. He remarried. He married this woman, and she was a couple of years younger than him. And he owned several buildings. He had retired from here, so he getting a pension, properties, buildings. He had his financial stuff together, right? So he has now passed on, and now the wife, I don't know how he set it up, because he also has children too, but they're grown. But the wife will now get his pension for life. She will get those properties. I don't know what all was left to her, but anyway, I had sent out an email to my other friends and co-workers here saying, are we going to take up a collection for him and give it to his wife? Okay, we also know his brother real too, because we, like I said, we all partied together. So everybody said, yeah, everybody was cool with it. So my other co-worker who I work with over here, that I said that made the chicken cacciatore, he said, I'm like, CC, I don't know about taking up no collection for her. So I said, what you mean? I said, that's what we do for everybody. He said, well, she gonna be loaded. I don't think she need our money. And so it kind of rubbed me the wrong way, because I'm like, okay, well, what that got to do with what that got to do with us? You know what I mean? I guess what I'm saying is, we do that for everybody. And do we judge? I guess this is what I'm asking you all. Do you judge and give based on what the other person is doing or what the other person have? Do you only want to give to people that you feel really need it? Or do you give no matter what the circumstances may be? I personally feel a little weirded out by the fact that they're judging her based on what she's going to collect from his pension and from his properties. I mean, I guess for me, first of all, number one, she ain't finna get that tomorrow. Right? Because that takes time. Because she's got to fill out paperwork. She's got to do. It's not like they just, he died, so we just gonna send it to her. No, she's got to have proof of marriage license. It's paperwork. So you even when you retire, even when you retire, it takes them a while to actually give you your first pension check. It take them. It don't happen like, okay, well I retired on Thursday. I'm gonna have a check. When I walk out of here, they're gonna cut me a check, and then from that point on, they're gonna be cutting me checks. That ain't how it works. That's why people say you need to save for retirement, because you can't rely on that, because with Trump doing all the bullshit he doing, laying people off and getting rid of people, laying all these people off, outsourcing these jobs and laying off physical people. If you don't have the physical people to do the work and get the paperwork going, depending on what town you live in, or wherever you work and how it's set up, You could be waiting, right? You could be waiting. So I don't know. I just feel really funny about it, right? And so I had ran it past my mother, and my mother was like, well, I understand their point. She was like, maybe they feel like she, something, when you take up a collection for people, a lot of people need that money, right? They're like in need of that money, right away. And she was like, maybe they feel like she, because he had the properties and she's going to be still getting the rent and this, that, and the other. And I said, yeah. She said, so maybe they feel like she don't need it. I said, well, I get that. But now here's the interesting part. So after talking to him and talking to another coworker that I told y'all that was really, really good friends with him, the one I was telling y'all, she kind of bossy. She also said, she didn't say, no, we shouldn't give her anything. She didn't say that. She just was like, yeah. She was like, she said, he had his stuff together, And I said, yeah, I know he did. But she didn't say yay or nay. She didn't give an opinion one way or the other. So I text my other two friends that is in our little, they said we got a clique. It's not a clique. It's just friendship. We just all work together. So I text them. And I told them what, how the other two felt. And I said, what y'all feel? I said, I just feel like, because I bought the card, the sympathy card, right? And I had told them that I would bring the card to the funeral and everybody could sign the card and they could put, so this is what I wrote in the text. I said, I bought the card. I just feel like whoever want to give can give. If people want to put money in the card for him, now where I used to work, they're taking up a collection, okay? Well, we don't work up there no more. So that envelope is going to be sealed and they're going to give her that whenever they're going to give it to her or whatever. So we really not a part of that. So that's why I was saying, us who's separate from them, what we going to do? So my one friend, I just feel like, I told him what we had talked about, and I said, and I just feel like, whoever want to give, can give. And so my one friend said, he said, I'm okay with that. He said, okay. He said, we can do that, right? So then the other friend, she texts us and she says, well, they trying to figure out how to pay. They're trying to find a place to have the repast. And they got to pay for that. Because again, I know this from experience when my father died. When my father died, you doing what I'm saying to you all is that it took a while for all that insurance, for my mama to get the insurance. It don't happen just because a person died on Monday. You gonna get it. Don't work like that. It take a minute. So people did bring food. We had the repast at the church, and the place that my dad hung out at, they supplied all the food, the pops, the desserts, everything. So, oh Lord, don't tell me nothing downhill. Oh, there's something right here. See, they getting here early. So, so, you know, they supplied everything, you know, so we didn't really have to, we didn't have to buy no food. We didn't have to do none of that. You know, they did it all. I feel like I'm over too much. But again, you know, it took a while for all of that stuff, you know, to kick in. So she said, well, they're having a problem. Not a problem. She said, well, they're having a, well, she did say it. She said, they're having a problem finding a spot, a place. She said, and you know, they're going to need money, you know, to pay for, you know, the repass. So I said, oh, okay. And she said, so whatever money we get, she said, I'm willing to help them pay for the repass. So she said, I agree, you know, excuse me, that his wife is going to, you know, get a lot of his money. So I didn't go into depth with them, you know, about it or whatever. I just said, you know, okay. So I guess for me, I did not look at it that way. I did not look at it like, oh, you know, she gonna be loaded, she gonna get his money. Because I guess, I don't know, y'all. I don't know. I just don't know. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. But I wouldn't have never looked at it that way. Honest to God, I wouldn't have. But, so I said, I just want to ask my subscribers what they think. Is it wrong for people to think just because she's going to get money that they shouldn't give her money? I guess that's what I'm saying. I guess it's almost like if you see a person that, it's just like if you see a person that's homeless, right? Do you judge whether or not there's a need or not, or do you just give because you know that there's some need? And I guess for me, I'm just gonna be honest with y'all. I'm gonna wrap it up to you like this. What if Jesus said, I already blessed Cece with a house. There's no need for me to give her any more blessings. She asked for this. She prayed for this. She told me that she wanted a house. She told me what kind of house she wanted. She was specific in her prayer. So now I've blessed her. I've blessed her based on her need and her want and her desire. So now that I've given her this blessing, there will be no more blessings for the rest of Cece's life because she's good. She got a good job. She got a great kid. She got her house. Her car is paid for. What else does she need? Why do I need to give her anything else? So what I'm saying to you, what if God looked at our situation? What if God looked at our situation the same way we do as people with other people? Where would we be? Because just think, and I'm so glad, I'm so thankful that I serve a God that is not like man. I'm so grateful and I'm so thankful that I worship and I love a God who loves me beyond my faults, that he loves me beyond what I can even see, that he loves me beyond a blessing of this, of that, that he loves me. That's why I tell you, I listen here. I don't try to push my faith and my belief on anybody, but I'm gonna tell you all this. If you don't know him, you need to get to know him. You need to get to have a real relationship with him. Because if we relied on man and didn't have a God, where would we be? Let me give you a perfect example. I'm not talking to somebody right now today because they did not understand where I was coming from when they hurt my feelings. If you have a birthday and I say happy birthday to you this year, and you have another birthday next year, and you're here, God willing, should I not say happy birthday to you again? If it's Women's History Month and I shout out the same women every year, you still have content over here on this platform, do you or do you not? You still doing YouTube, right? You still have a YouTube page. I don't care if you've hit 2 million subscribers. I don't care if you've hit 14 million, 15 million. Why would I tell you, I recognized you last year? First of all, it was my idea. I'm the one who brought the idea that for Women's History Month, shout out other women content creators on YouTube and then go over and support and subscribe. It was my idea. But you take my idea and you don't acknowledge my channel, and you tell me that you did me last year, so why should you do me again this year? Excuse me? And me and this person ain't talking right now because of that. And we talked every day. But what that showed me was that you only for me sometime. You're not for me all the time. See, I'm not a sometimey type of friend. If I love you and I support you, I don't care what's going on in your life. I'm there for you. All day, every day. I don't judge you based on what you've done and say, well, I can't do this for you because, I did that for you last time. No, if I'm with you and I love you, I do for you all the time. That's just like I heard a man say. He has 2 children. He said, I pay child support. So when Christmas comes, I don't buy my kids anything for Christmas because I pay child support. What the fuck that got to do with these babies getting a Christmas gift for you? You pay child support so that they can have everyday needs. Food, water, clothing, school supplies, school fees, light, gas, a roof over their head. So when their birthday come and Christmas come, or you see something that you want to pick up for them, you can't pick it up for them because you pay child support. It's amazing how the human brain works in deciding what folk should and should not get. And that's why I have a problem with this, because you looking at her and what she's going to get, but you're not looking at what she need right at this particular moment. And she may not need anything, but to me, it's all about the principle. You understand what I'm saying? It's all about the principle. If you love me, why are you judging me based on that my husband is rich? So you mean tell me that now I'm cut off from ever receiving anything from you because I have a rich husband? Oh, I ain't gonna give her nothing because, she got married now. She got a husband now. She rich now. Just like I told my mother. I told my mother she was wrong about this because my niece and nephew birthday is coming up in April. And my mother is giving my niece bought tickets to go see Beyonce in Vegas in August. She loves Beyonce. And so my mother, my niece's birthday is the 12th of April, and my nephew's birthday is April 15th. He's the oldest, okay? You know, I don't know if I told you all or not, but he's a police officer now. And we're so proud of him. He followed in his father's footsteps. So my mother said, I'm paying for Diana, because I don't know what happened with my niece's job. I don't know. No, she got laid off, she quit. I don't know. I never asked. But she said, yeah, I'm paying for Diana's airfare for her trip, for her to go see Beyonce. So I said, oh, okay. So it was me and my sister in the car. And she said, I'm not going to give Timothy anything because he's working now. I said, Mama, what does that got to do with his birthday? What does that got to do with his birthday? I understand you saying you don't want to give him nothing. You're not going to give him money like you used to give him before he had a job. But what does his birthday have to do with him having a job? What does that have to do with anything? He still got a birthday. What I don't understand. I don't get that. You know, it's just like if somebody get married and somebody say, I'm not giving her anything because she got a husband now. But what that got to do with me? So I feel funny about that when people say that, because that has nothing to do with me. So my mother gonna say, well, what you giving him for his birthday? I said, I ain't giving him nothing. Him or my niece. I said, they don't never buy me anything for my birthday. I don't get nothing. But they do make sure that for my mom's birthday, he always give my mother a gift for her birthday. Both of them. And they should, because that's their grandmother. But I'm technically their only aunt. They have aunts on their father's side, but they don't really have a relationship with them because they much older. And there's so many people in their father's family. This is their father is one of 13 or one of 12. So technically I'm the only aunt, really. But they don't do nothing for me for my birthday. They don't give me a card. They don't do nothing. So I don't do nothing for them. Now, I have for years buy stuff for their birthday. You know, I have for years. And I'm not saying that if I got some money, I would give them some money. When I had got my settlement, I gave both of them money, big money. I gave my sister money. So I have done it, you know, but they don't do anything for me on my birthday. I don't even get a card. They text and they say happy birthday. That's it. So in that aspect, I feel like, you know what, you all are grown. You all are not kids no more. You all have jobs. Y'all have money. Why can't you buy me a birthday gift? But since they don't, I don't buy them one either. I have, like I said, in the past, I have bought birthday gifts. Even when they got grown, I bought birthday gifts for a long, long time. And then I just stopped. And so my mother gonna say, well, see, that's my point. I said, no. I said, that's something totally different. I said, that's your grandchildren. And they do buy you things for your birthday. They brought her some beautiful flowers, even though mine were prettier. I meant to take a picture of them or do a video of them and show them. I got them from a grocery store. And they were beautiful. And they still have not completely died. They were beautiful. That's one thing I don't do. I mean, I have done it. I hardly ever buy myself flowers. I said I got to start doing that. I like fresh cut flowers. I love flowers. I always buy myself some roses on my birthday. I didn't do it this year. And I should have. But I told my mother, I said, you can't say you're not gonna give him nothing because he got a job now. I said, he still got a birthday. She's like, okay, you're right. I said, I'm just saying, don't do that. You can't give my niece something and not give him nothing. That's not right. And I'm telling you, that's how people are. And I'm not saying anything negative about my mother. I guess in my mother's ass, she like, oh, you know, he don't need, because I guess what she's saying, because the only thing they would want would be money. And so I guess in her mind, she's like, you know, she's saying, I'm not going to give him no money, you know. But he making good money. He making a good salary. He don't quite make as much as I make yet, but he will. I said, you can't do that. I said, you cannot do that. I said, you're going to make him feel some type of way. You can't give him something and not give her nothing. I mean, give her something and not give him anything. You just can't do it. And I'm going to tell you all something else, too, that I don't like. That I don't like. When a man, I'm going to tell you, my grandfather, I told you all, my mother's father, my mother's mother and my mother's father was divorced. And my grandmother remarried, and she had 6 more children. By the grandfather, I said it, I always thought was my grandfather. But my mother's father, when he would come to see them and bring them something, he would bring all the kids something. How do you bring just one kid something and say, well, this is my kid, I'm not going to bring the rest of the kids anything? How do you do that? Kids don't understand that. And what happens is, here comes the resentment. Here comes the jealousy. Here comes the, you know, I'm going to tell you all. Maybe, and I know that I am. Maybe people have said to me, you know, you give too much, you too soft. But let me tell you something. I could never, ever, never treat a child wrong or differently than another child. I could not do that. If I see a child, I don't care what nationality they are, you are a child. 3 little kids were killed in a fire this week. And when I tell you that broke my heart, 3 little boys. Two little boys, they were twins, and they had a brother that was either older or younger. They got trapped in the basement of their grandparents' home. The grandmother they were able to rescue, but they could not rescue the kids. And the one little boy, he had he was on a ventilator, and you know, he was on the ventilator, and they thought that he was going to live. He didn't. She lost 3 children. This mother, she's a young mother. She lost 3 babies. And they were white. And I don't care if they were green, purple, or yellow. Even when the news reporters, when they were reporting it, you could tell they wanted to bust into tears. I was like, oh my God. Oh my God. It's hard when you lose one child. I don't care what the age is. But to lose 3 babies? Give you another so please pray for, I don't know her name. But please pray for this mother. Please pray for this family. They lost 3 little babies. They were toddlers. 4 and 5. They were little. Whew. And I prayed for that mother, and I don't even know her. I saw her get on TV. She was just inconsolable. Just inconsolable. It's just like the lady who daughter's husband killed the wife, and they had 3 girls. He killed the wife, his 3 children, and himself. And the grandmother was on, and she just, stuff like that, just, I don't have to know you to feel you. I don't have to know you to love you. I don't have to know you to empathize and have a heart for you. I just don't. And so I guess my issue with this whole thing about, well, we shouldn't give, she gonna get this, she gonna get that. I mean, if we all judge somebody based on where they are or where they're going or where they've been, I don't know, y'all. I got a problem with it. And I know everybody don't, and and I'm the brokest, but I shouldn't put that out there. But my mom always said, that's why you always be broke, because you always be doing this, you always be doing that. You'll do this and you'll do that for a person. I will. Because I think about my own life, how many times I've been on the struggle bus. I think about how many times I didn't know where I was going to get the money to do this or that or the other. And God spoke to somebody, whispered into somebody's ear, I need you to go help my daughter. I need you to go help my child. See, you all be thinking that people do things for you just because they popped up. They don't pop up. God has whispered in their ear, hey, listen here. Go help Sherelle Cotton. I'm going to tell you, it ain't nobody but God. Because anytime a person that ain't never touched me physically, ain't never been in my presence, can help me, that's Jesus. And I want to be like God. I'm not going to ever be perfect, but I want to have the heart for people the way that Jesus has the heart for his people. I don't want to judge you based on what you got or what you don't have. I don't want to judge you based on well, I know she got this, and I know she got. If I love you, I love you. If God blessed us by the measure of what he's already done for us, don't you know you wouldn't have what you got? Think about that. If he just cut you off. And that's why I had a problem with this person doing that to me. I'm like, you're supposed to be my friend. You said that you love me. You said that we were girls. Me and you ain't never met, but we got to know each other over here on YouTube. We were friends. We were girls. And then you tell me that you can't support me, that you can't shout my YouTube channel out off of my idea because you had shouted out me the year before. So in my mind, I'm like, okay, what's this really about? Because then in my mind, I felt like, I'm going to tell you how I felt. How I felt was, is this jealousy? What is this? Because if you, my friend, you love me all the time. You don't love me this year and not the next year. Well, I shouted you out last year. Okay. Okay. Bet. So ultimately, that ended the friendship. We stopped talking. And this same person told me, she was telling me about somebody who they had 1 or 2 kids, and they were having a 3rd child. And she said, I went to 2 baby showers. I'm not going to a 3rd. She having another baby shower. I'm not going to another baby shower. I said, but this ain't for the same baby. Well, look like they ought to have some stuff left over from the last kid. I don't understand that. I'm gonna give you all an example. Metal Shrub, Angel, and Brenda. These 3 people that's over here. Brenda has sent me, and I don't want to forget Jen on Demand, who's a YouTube contenter. Jen on Demand sent me $100 because at that time I was struggling. I was telling you all about the cat. She sent me $100. She Zelled me $100. Never met Jen on Demand. I watched Jen on Demand's videos. Love her channel. She and I have become friends. Brenda sent me a $50 gift card for my housewarming party. She then turned around and sent me another $50 gift card when I was going through that little thing. Then she turned around and she sent me that light that I have in my backyard. Angel sent me a $250 check for my housewarming party. She said, in that $250, half of it was for me and half of it was for Chris. Then she turned around, and on Chris' birthday, she sent him a check for $125 for his birthday. Metal Shrub. I can't even begin to tell you all the stuff Metal Shrub has done. Okay. Christmas, Chris' birthday. He helped me buy those shoes that Chris wanted. He has sent me money for my birthday. He has done so much that I told him, don't do nothing else. I've never met or touched any of these people, but I love them like I've known them forever. And I don't love them based on what they've done for me or Chris. I love them because I know that their heart is pure and that their generosity is generous. Never asked for it, but they love me. You understand what I'm saying? They love me. So I try to give, and I want to give back to these same people that have blessed me and that have loved me. So my point to you all is that I could get on here every day and tell you all about every problem. Every problem. I could get on here and I could say, y'all, I ain't got no food to eat, or this, that, and the other. I could be that type of person. Listen here, you know when somebody is using and begging you. That looks like a rat over there. I hope that ain't a rat. Well, this rat's over here. I don't know what that is hanging. I'm gonna tell y'all, I can't stand a rat. I'm so scared of rats. I'm scared of a mouse too. Anyway, and there's rats in our building, this building. Whew. Anywho, looks like it's paper. That's what it looked like. Yeah, it's paper. What I'm saying is that if you love somebody, if you care about somebody, if you like somebody, it doesn't matter what you've done for them. Because if you love a person, you love a person. You don't measure it by this, that, or the other. You just know you love them. So I had a real issue with that. And it made me say, what kind of friendship do we really have? Because if you're basing our friendship on what you do and what I do, if you base your friendship on what you did for me last year versus what you're doing for me this year, and what kind of friendship do we really have? So, it's hard for me to be friends with people who do that. I'm just gonna be honest with y'all, and that's why we're not. Still love them, still love this person. This person never needed me. I'm there. But it made me feel a certain type of way, and it made me feel a certain type of way about how they felt about me. And I was like, I'm just gonna back up out of this. And that's what I did. And then when I gave them that analogy about, I said, well, I have a birthday every year. So you can only say happy birthday to me once a year? That's apple and oranges. That ain't the same thing. Okay. And when I even tried to tell them about it, because I sent it in a text how I was feeling, they got mad because I sent it in a text. And then when I tried to talk to them about it, out the door, off the rip, the response was real angry, like, you know. And I happened to be in my mama's house when I was talking to this person, and my mama heard them. She was like, She was like, She's like, they seem a little angry. I was like, yeah. I was like, well, I told my mama, I said, it just showed me. And I'm the type of person, if you show me or you tell me, I will leave you alone. And that's what I did. And I don't feel no way about it. But I'm going to tell you all this. If you love somebody, do what you want to do for that person. If you only love them, only on some time and not all the time, what type of friend or what type of woman or man are you to that person? If you're in a relationship. I'm just saying. And like I said, I'm glad that God does not operate like man. Because if he did, where would we be? That's like somebody who gets sick. You get sick. He heal you. And then you get sick again and he say, well, you know, I can't heal you again, Sherelle. I healed you once. Now here you come back, you asking for another healing? Girl. So that's how I feel about that whole situation with giving her this money. We're basing it on what we know that she's going to get, and not basing it on what she needs right now. So anyway, what's your thoughts? What are your thoughts? Do you agree that you should only give when there's a need? Or, well, I guess my question is, do you feel that you should be a giver all the time or only when you see a need? Because who are we to say what she need and what she don't need? I'm just saying. Ain't none of us going to call her up and ask her. So let me know your thoughts. What's your thoughts about this subject today? What's the etiquette on giving, and how do you give? Do you give with a grateful and a cheerful heart? Or do you only give when, you know, you think it's necessary? And I thank God for the people that are in my life that give because they love me. Just because they love me. That alone, because they love me. Not because I make $50 an hour, not because I got a house, not because I paid my car off, not because of this or because of that, but just because they love me. And that is how God operates with us. He gives to us because he loves us. He loves us. How can he be the creator and the foundation of the creator of the world, or the foundation of the world, and only want to give you crumbs here and there? based on what you don't have or what you do have. But he gives you all the time. Because why? Because he loves you. He loves you more than your mother and father could love you. I love Christopher and everything in me, but I don't love him as much as Jesus does. I don't. I don't have to say, because I didn't create him. God gave him to me. I'm the vessel that brought him here, but I'm not the creator. I didn't create his heart. I didn't create his mind. I didn't create his limbs, his fingers. He came out with everything. He came out with 10 fingers, 10 toes, 2 legs, 2 arms, 2 eyes, lips, nose, and a face, and hair. I didn't do that. God planted the seed, and then from there, he did the work inside of the womb. He did the work. I was just the vessel. I was just the person that was supposed to bring him here. He used me to get him here. But he's his child more than he could ever be mine. As much as I love him, I still don't love him as much as Jesus do. As much as you love your children, you don't love them as much as Jesus loves them. Because you're not God. And when God says he wants to take his children back home with him because he don't want you to suffer no more, and we grieve down here, he's happy and he's getting the glory. Your life is supposed to be a reflection of what God has already done. Everything about you and everything about who you are, God is supposed to go back to him. He's supposed to get the glory. Everything about your life, he gets the glory. He gets it. He gets it because he is who created you. You can mourn, you can cry, you can fall down, you can be sad when people die. But when God wants his children back, he takes them back. Ain't nothing you can do about it. Ain't nothing you can do. Because you not God. They are here on a temporary loan basis. They don't belong to you. They belong to God. So who are we? Who are we to judge about what somebody need and what they don't need? And I thank God that I got a God who don't judge me based on what I need when I need it, or based on the blessings that he's already given me. He feels like I've already had enough. God is about abundance. And if you have it and God has blessed you and he's whispered in your ear, hey, my beautiful child, I need you to go over here and bless this sister. I need you to go over here and bless this brother. This woman over here struggling with these babies, I need you to take them some food. I know you ain't got much. I know you ain't got much. But I'm going to tell you, I'm going to challenge you all for this. Try giving and see what God will do for you. Try giving and see what God will do for you. You can't always have your hand out to receive. You got to have your hand out to give. It's all right to receive. But you can't live your life like this, because when you live your life like this, can't nothing get in and ain't nothing coming out. You got to open up your hand to give, and you got to open up your hand to receive. God says he loves a cheerful giver. So if you only giving based on this, that, or the other, or if you only supporting me based on because you supported me last time, then where's your heart for me? Do you have a heart for me, or do you only want to do for me when you think that you should? So if you don't believe in God, if you don't have a relationship with God, just think about all the things that you've acquired. Just think about all the things that you blessed with. And then come back on this video and talk to me and tell me how God has blessed you abundantly. Things that you didn't even ask for, things that you didn't even want, he's given them to you. You didn't even know where it came from. Where did that come from? Thank you. People call it the universe. It's God. All day, every day. No, don't nothing happen to you by happenstance. It's all in divine order. So that's why that's why y'all see me. Yeah, I know I cuss, but that's why y'all see me on this platform always thanking and praising God, because I know who he is and what he is and what he's done for me. Can't nobody do me like Jesus. Nobody. And as much as you love me, as much as I love my kids, or you love your kids, I love my child, God is greater. And he loves us better and more than anybody ever could. And that's the truth. And that's what I'm going to leave you with. But I need to know your thoughts, and leave a comment in the comment section, okay? All right, y'all have a great, blessed day. And you know where I'll see you in the next CC's Fashion is My Passion YouTube channel. All right, bye.